Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and... wait. I am Spartacus! Just getting that thing out of the way right now. Spartacus was directed by Stanley Kubrick. It was released in 1960, and it starred Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, Gene Simmons, and others. And this is based on the book written by Howard Fast. And it tells the story of, well, Spartacus, played by Kirk Douglas, a slave who is turned into a gladiator, but through a series of events becomes the leader of the biggest slave revolt of the time and nearly brings the Roman Empire to its knees. This whole movie was the brainchild of Kirk Douglas himself. He had auditioned to play Judah Ben-Hur in, well, Ben-Hur, but ended up not getting the role, instead the role going to Charlton Heston. And so, out of revenge, he just said, alright, I'll make a sword and sandals movie myself. And not only did he produce this movie, but also starred in it, and got former blacklisted scriptwriter Dalton Trumbo off of the Hollywood blacklist to write the screenplay for this movie. And this was yet another first-time watch for me, and yeah, this movie is epic in every sense of the word. Firstly, let's talk about Kirk Douglas, because honestly I'm more familiar with his son's work, Michael, than Kirk's work. And he was the best part of this movie. There are many scenes where he is just he's perfectly stoic. He has a stone cold look on his face, despite that he's a slave and goes through a lot of bad treatments. He just absorbs it all because you could tell right away that he's a very calculating individual. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting for his moment. And when that moment happens, he pounces on it. But Spartacus is not just some brute. He's not like a mute brute. He actually has a heart, and there are more than a few scenes where they're actually pretty funny. But while Spartacus and his followers are traveling across the countryside, Spartacus eyes the love of his life, Varinia, played by Gene Simmons. And they run to each other, they hug, it's a beautiful scene. And Spartacus is like, I never thought I'd see you again, what happened? And Varinia is like, I fell off the cart because he was too fat. He being the slave auctioneer, who, yeah, he's pretty fat. And it's just a great scene. I love the relationship between Spartacus and Varinia. It's good stuff. And this is honestly a very loaded cast, not just concerning Kirk Douglas and Gene Simmons, but you also have Laurence Olivier, I'll talk more about him in a second, but you also have guys like Tony Curtis, Peter Ustinov, and that's just off the top of my head. This was a loaded movie for 1960. And then let's talk about Laurence Olivier, because we all know him as one of the all-time greats, and he has very well earned that title. However, in this movie, he is an absolute, just horrible person. He starts off as just a standard, Roman senator, a standard politician, but then, as soon as he sets his sights on Spartacus, he is just ruthless. In among, the best movie villains of all time, I think Crassus needs to be up there. I do have one tiny nitpick about this movie in that there are a lot of scenes where it's just Roman senators just sitting there what do we do about the Spartacus problem? I would normally not have a problem with that, it's just that this movie is over 3 hours long, and that's including entr'acte, closing act, and an intermission. And the scenes where the senators are like, we should do something, just felt very repetitive to me. I was just sitting there guys, you know what to do. You just have to take care of the Spartacus problem. And I'm not rooting for them to do that. I'm just saying, as an observer, I'm just just take care of the Spartacus thing. Those whole scenes kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. But really, that's just a small problem. On the grand scheme of things, this movie is just excellent. Like I said, this was directed by Stanley Kubrick, and I had to shake myself a couple times, because I was like, this is Kubrick? How? There are definitely some Kubrick trademarks, there are several long tracking shots throughout the camp, the slave camp specifically. But there are no killer robots or elevators full of blood or anything like that. This feels like the most classical of Kubrick's films. I haven't seen Paths of Glory or Barry Lyndon, so my mind might change on that. But this definitely felt like an outlier in Kubrick's career. But at the end of the day, this movie is an excellent outlier nonetheless. Be prepared to watch, well, an over 3 hour long movie, but if you can stomach it, I do highly recommend it. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Next time on the AFI Project, we are going way back in the timeline to cover a movie from F.W. Murnau. It is 1927's Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.